Okay, we want to look at some of the key characters, two of them actually, in this German synodal process pathway to hell, I guess. I don't know where are they going. It's a pathway somewhere. Bishop Franz Josef Overbeck. And what is so important about him, you might ask? Well, first of all, he is probably going to be the new president of the German's Bishops' Conference. Now, here's a trivia question for you, Bill. Who is or who was the current president of the Germans Bishops' Conference? Do you know?
It was none other than Cardinal Reinhard Marx, who is the same Cardinal Reinhard Marx that called this synodal path. And strangely enough, he did this last year, and now over the last I don't know 4 to 6 months, he's decided that he should give the younger men a chance, and he's decided to not seek a re-election as president of the conference.
Right, right. You're right. So Marx, the most leftist cardinal I think there is on the face of the earth, he was in charge of the Germans bishops' conference, and what's interesting is right after the Pope did the exhortation on the Amazon Synod, word has it he wasn't very happy with it because the Pope did not give his blessing on married priests or female deacons and stuff like that. And he said, I'm out of here. I quit. I don't want to do that conference anymore. But he said that he was too old. Like you said, he's 72. So they got 55-year-old Overbeck, who we were just showing you a second ago. And let's talk about Overbeck here for a minute. He is the carbon copy of Cardinal Reinhard Marx. And this is what he wants to do. He wants the reassessing of the teaching on homosexuality, and he wants the discussion of female ordination as well. So those are two key components that he is 100%, wanting to get done. Uh, he thinks that the whole aspect of human sexuality to do with homosexuality is a taboo subject right now with the Catholic faith, and he doesn't like that. I don't know where you go with stuff like this. I mean, he's saying that of course it's a taboo subject, right? Oh, what else is it supposed to be? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, and I mean, he is. I would go further and say I don't know that he's even a carbon copy of Marx. I think he is the. It would be more accurate to call him the successor to Marx, which is to say that he is. He's going to take the ball and run it to the end zone or as close as he can get to it. He's going to take it farther than Marx ever did. He. Which is ironic because both he and Marx, they used to be against this kind of stuff. And then he, in an October 2019 statement, he, expressed regret for his previous rejection of that lifestyle. And at the same time proposed a discussion about female ordination. In an essay for the German journal Herr der Korrespondenz, he had called for a depatholization of homosexuality, whatever that means. But I guess the stigma, the taboo around it, he wants that to go away. I don't know how that jives with the catechism, but now that's where he's at, and I think it's going to go a lot further than Marx ever.
So your thinking is, okay, they got a younger guy in there now who's kind of a spitting image of Marx in a way, or maybe even worse than Marx. But he's got more energy and he can push the ball further. Marx did what he could as cardinal, but he's still a cardinal. He's still going to remain as a cardinal. He's just not going to be a president of this conference anymore. And that is interesting. You see, this is why the church has objective truth, and this is why the church has dogmatic teaching, because it doesn't change. God doesn't change. 1,000 years for God is like one day. Okay, so God, the Holy Spirit isn't constantly changing his mind. But Overbeck, as you said, originally was against homosexuality and all that, and ordaining women and stuff. And now he's changed his mind. Maybe he's seen the light now, or the darkness, whatever. But he has changed his mind. So now what are we supposed to do? Follow him? See, this is what's so crazy. These guys change their minds. They want to change doctrine, and we're just supposed to follow them, like sheep. There's one other character that we need to bring up here real quick, and I love this guy's name, Eberhard Schachenhoff. Eberhard Schachenhoff. Now, he's not a bishop, priest. He's a layperson. He's a professor. I got a feeling he's probably on the liberal side. He is in charge of the fourth forum, the LGBTQ forum. Okay, so they're supposed to have impartial discussions on this. But listen to what Schachenhoff has said. He says that the church must unconditionally recognize same-sex partnerships and stop disqualifying those sexual practices as immoral. Sodomy and everything has to be considered okay. Homosexuality has to be okay. There's nothing immoral about it, according to Schachenhoff. So Schachenhoff, whatever he says, goes, I guess. I don't know anymore.
He's the main architect of that specific forum. We talked previously about those 4 forums and that life in succeeding relationships, living love and sexuality and partnership. He's the main architect. He's actually been writing about it for years. And so his demands are actually nothing new. He's just the only difference now is that he's actually getting a bullhorn from which to speak. And obviously, Overbeck and Marx, they are on board with all of this. So it'll get rammed through. There's no doubt about it.
Right. It's a 2-year process. So what we're going to do on our next video is we're going to talk about some other current events and maybe come back to the German synodal process in the future when there's some more updates. They're going to be at it for 2 more years. Let's just keep praying that, well, let's face it, the gates of hell will not prevail. So just keep praying. But for now, we're going to have a good night. Thanks, Bill, again. And God bless everybody.